Welcome back to the channel, Coin Info, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare, historic, and collectible coins from around the globe. Today, we're going to explore a coin that carries not just monetary worth, but also an incredible amount of historical and cultural significance, the 1994 South African 1 Rand coin. This coin is more than just metal. It is a reminder of one of the most transformative years in South African history. By the end of this video, you'll know its background, design, symbolism, and collectible value. The year 1994, a turning point in South Africa. To understand the importance of this coin, we first need to talk about the year 1994. This was the year South Africa held its first democratic elections after decades of apartheid rule. For the first time, all citizens, regardless of race, could vote. The elections in April 1994 marked the beginning of a new era, with Nelson Mandela becoming the country's first black president. The year was filled with hope, transition, and a promise for unity. Coins minted in 1994, including the 1 Rand, are tied to this monumental change. They became silent witnesses to the rebirth of the nation, making them historically important to collectors today. Physical characteristics of the 1994 1 Rand coin. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The 1 Rand coin of 1994 was part of South Africa's modern decimal coinage system, which had been introduced back in 1961 when the country left the British pound system. Composition: the coin was made of nickel-plated copper, giving it strength and a silvery appearance. Weight: about 5 grams. Diameter: 19 millimeters. Shape: round, with a milled edge for security and easy recognition. Though small in size, its design is rich in meaning. Obverse design, a symbol of heritage. On the obverse side, the 1994 1 Rand coin features the South African coat of arms. At the top, you see the words South Africa written in both English and Afrikaans, reflecting the bilingual nature of the country at the time. The coat of arms itself is a strong symbol, featuring elements that represent unity, agricultural prosperity, and strength. For decades, this design appeared on South African coins. However, collectors see the 1994 version as significant because it was the last year before South Africa began transitioning to new national symbols in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Reverse design, the graceful springbok. Now let's flip to the reverse side, where we see one of the most iconic images in South African coinage, the springbok antelope. The springbok has been featured on coins since the 1940s and has become a proud national emblem. It represents speed, agility, and resilience, qualities South Africans deeply admire. Above the springbok is the coin's value, written as 1 Rand, while the year of issue, 1994, sits just below. The artwork of the springbok is not just decoration, it's a timeless reminder of the natural beauty and wildlife heritage of South Africa. Circulation and everyday use: the 1 Rand coin was widely used in 1994 for everyday transactions. At that time, it had reasonable buying power. To give some perspective, 1 Rand could purchase small items like bread, bus fare, or basic groceries. Of course, inflation has reduced its value significantly today, but in the 1990s it was an essential coin in people's daily lives. For many South Africans, coins from 1994 also carry emotional value, since they were in circulation during the excitement of the country's first free elections. Collectability and numismatic value. So, the big question: what is the 1994 South African 1 Rand coin worth? Today, in terms of face value, it remains just 1 Rand. But for collectors, its value goes beyond that. The market price depends on several factors. Condition: coins in uncirculated or mint condition are always worth more than heavily worn ones. Rarity: the 1994 Rand was minted in large numbers for general circulation, so it is not considered rare. Historical significance: what gives it extra appeal is its connection to 1994, a year of historic change for South Africa. Generally, a circulated 1994 1 Rand coin might be valued at $1 to $3 in the collector's market. However, coins preserved in mint state, especially those graded by professional services, can fetch higher prices, sometimes between $10 and $20 USD. Special proof versions, if they exist in collections, can be valued even more. Why collect this coin? You might wonder, why would someone collect a coin that isn't particularly rare? The answer is its historical symbolism. The 1994 1 Rand coin is a physical reminder of South Africa's democratic transition. It's like holding a piece of history in your hand. Collectors often include it in sets focused on South African history, world coins from the 1990s, or coins tied to political milestones. It also appeals to people who admire Nelson Mandela's legacy and the story of freedom in South Africa. How to identify and preserve it. If you come across a 1994 1 Rand coin, here are a few tips. 1. Check the date, make sure it's 1994.2. Look at the condition, the clearer the details, the better the value. 3. Store properly, keep it in a coin holder or protective sleeve to avoid scratches or tarnishing. 4. Get it graded. If you think it's in excellent condition, consider sending it to a grading service like NGC or PCGS for authentication and proper valuation. The 1994 South African 1 Rand coin is much more than small change. It represents a nation at the crossroads of history, a people moving from division toward unity, from oppression toward freedom.